Hey everyone, Happy New Year. It's January 2nd. Had to get on and kind of rant about what happened yesterday with the Packers. I mean, what a terrible game, to say the least. I mean, that's what you get with the Vikings. Every time you want them to show up, I mean, just show up. Can you just show up? And it seems like once they start rolling the wrong way, they can't stop the rolling the wrong way and turn it around and is it time to take a look at Mullins? I mean, I'm not saying that Cousins is the problem, but I am not giving this guy another guaranteed contract to be, you know, where we were before we gave him the first guaranteed contract. I mean, we know he's average. We're hoping that he's a little bit above average, but he never gets to be a little bit above average because he has games like this here where he's well below average. And you got to know how to change things and not let it get away from you. And that kind of happens, And some of the little things that bug me, for example, uh, yesterday the Packers when they had that kickoff return, the kickoff return guy caught the ball 5, 6 yards in the end zone and he brought it out. Why aren't we letting number 26 do that? Why isn't he taking every ball out of the end zone? He's a threat. So we could go a whole game and he never really touches the ball. Here's a guy that he's a threat when the ball is in his hands and we go a whole game without putting the ball in his hands. Why isn't he on offense? Where we could do some kind of a flanker reverse or have two running backs and do a cross buck, one go one way and hand off to 26 going the other way. I mean, these are the types of decisions that I'm not sure why they're not making. It's like the offense gets so vanilla. We had number 5, the guy that we brought in from Philly, who ran that reverse for a touchdown near the goal line. I forget what team that was that we played, but it worked. I think it was against the Chicago Bears. Made a great move and he scored. Why aren't we doing those types of plays where it's different? You're not expecting it as a defense, and that's what catches you off guard. You're looking for one play and it's another play. We get the ball on a 1 yard line and we can't score from the 1 yard line. We run two of the same play, cook up the middle. The second time, cook up the middle, we had a third string center that we're trying to run behind. We can't do something on the outside where we at least have, first stringers out there at that time, anyways. I mean, this whole thing is just so frustrating. And, the Vikings, they've done this to me so many times where they just don't show up for the big games. And it's an egg, it's 41-0. When I say 41-0, I'm thinking of the NFC Championship game against the Giants back in the day, and then against the Rams back in the day, they never showed up. And then against the Cowboys this year, they didn't show up. And, now against the Packers, didn't show up. This is just unbelievable. And let's talk about, our defense. Worst defense in the NFL. They're letting yards pile up. And if you listen to this moron talk about, points, it's yards, well, it doesn't equal points. Well, technically, yeah, okay, I get it, but guys are just running up and down the field on us, and it's just not working out. I really hope this guy doesn't get another contract for next year. I mean, I'm not sure I can watch. I hate listening to him. He's got that real dumb kind of vibe when he talks. I mean, I'm sure he's a great guy, but I mean, he's 62. He should retire. We need a young defensive mind that's hungry, that wants to win. This guy's just looking for a paycheck, and he should be retired. This whole thing is kind of frustrating, and yeah, but we're in the playoffs, but we only have one home game, unless something crazy happens, and I'm not feeling too good about kind of where we are. We're losing players left and right, and it's really the play calling. I mean, I know that O'Connell is supposed to be the mind, but it's not everything. It's like seems to be the same play. I mean, when I watch that goal line, we're on the 1 yard line, and he's calling the same play. Cook up the middle. I mean, why not cook off the left or the right side? And uh, I don't know. I want to vent, but I'm not sure how to. What do you guys think? I mean, I hope. Let's go back to Mullins. I would give Mullins a chance and see what do we have here, because we know what we have with Cousins. You're going to get some yards and some touchdowns, and but we're putting the ball in his hands, and we're trying to have him win the games. And I don't think he's the right guy. There's no trust. There's no trust in Cousins anymore, and I think we should look at Mullins, and then some. I hope Quasey is a real thinker, and he wants to get a young gun in here as our quarterback. We need hope. Bringing in these old quarterbacks that were good in the day, but like Moon and like Cunningham and like Jeff George and all those guys. Yeah, they were good at one time, but when you bring them in, they're usually done. They're beat up, and on top of that, okay, they might give you a year or two, but that's it. We want a dynasty. We want like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Of championship football, not this one and done, and giving Cousins that $84 million guaranteed money was just the wrong thing to do. I don't care who you are. If you're a Vikings fan, you know that was the wrong thing to do. So, again, I'm not saying he's a problem, but we're not going to win with him. We're just not going to win with him. And I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough if he plays like he did. I mean, it seems like when these games, these must-win games, he changes. He slows down, and lots of tip balls, and he's not throwing it. He should have. We had Jefferson on a linebacker, and he missed that one. And little things like that. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'm really venting right now. Skull, skull.